All right, Pakistan expense report by popular demand. We were not planning on making a Pakistan expense report because honestly, we received so much free stuff in Pakistan, we weren't sure our numbers were helpful to the average traveler. That being said, these are the numbers. So we spent about $6,000 for two people over the course of 3 months, which means $2,000 monthly, which means about $1,000 per person per month. I will say the food category here is unusually low. Without exaggerating, once a week or maybe twice a week, we would get a free meal. Sort of unbelievable in Pakistan, the hospitality there. So we would be eating, someone would come over and talk to us for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then they would leave. We would finish our meal, we would go to pay, and the guy at the restaurant would say, oh no, that guy you talked to, he already paid for you. We'd say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. So we had tons of free meals and just felt the love, and that's why the food category is so low compared to what it is usually in our expense reports. Also, we did receive lots of invitations to people's houses to eat with them. Obviously, in Lahore, we had an incredible time with Hani. You guys remember him. This was like one of the highlights of the trip for us. In Islamabad, we met Noor and her whole family, which was incredible. And in the north, we were in like dozens of people's houses, seemingly every day for chai and snacks.
Yes.
And all of it was just, out of the goodness of their own heart. So I will say, if we're trying to help travelers with this video, probably most of the numbers can be the same, but you might spend more on food. I don't know if we got lucky with all of the hospitality or if it's for everyone, but we were sort of blown away by the frequency of free meals.
Yeah.
Like every other day or two or three times a week. It was kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Never been to any other country like that. Now, that being said, let's do our expense report. First things first, the most expensive one always is the accommodations or the hotels. We spent like $3,000 in 3 months. That's like $1,000 a month, which is like $32 or $35 per day. I think this is reasonable to expect for travelers. To be clear, there are like $10 or $15 accommodations, but they're a little bit rough for us, and there certainly are like $150 or $200 accommodations per day, but they're a little bit expensive for us.
We kind of mixed it up. We stayed at like an Airbnb apartment, we stayed at budget hotels, and we stayed at luxury accommodations.
Right,
so
we sort of went back and forth.
Yeah.
But about $35 per day is a reasonable price. To be clear, we also stayed for long times. So in Lahore, we stayed 1 month in an Airbnb, which obviously makes the per night cost go down. It was a really, really nice Airbnb. We absolutely recommend it. We have a whole video on it. And then in Islamabad, we stayed for like 3 weeks in an Airbnb, which makes the per night go down. But for travelers who are thinking of going to Pakistan, probably $35 or $40 per night would be, on average, reasonable.
Yes.
Now, after that, we have sightseeing. To be clear, most of the sightseeing things in Pakistan are incredibly affordable, like $2 or $3. We went to the museums many times for a couple dollars. We went to an Eiffel Tower, which was really exciting, and it was, I believe, 300 rupees or $2 to go to the top.
That's right.
We did go to the world's second largest salt mine, which was, I think, $25.
That was one of my favorite experiences, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, and it was probably the most expensive one, $25. The reason sightseeing is so big is because we did take a guided tour up north for more than a week.
Yeah.
So if you're not going up north and you're not taking a guided tour, the sightseeing bill for the average tourist would be way low. The other great thing about Pakistan is most of the things you want to see don't cost money at all. The markets, just getting a feeling for the culture by walking through the streets, meeting people, the restaurants, the food. Most of the sightseeing is sort of kind of ingrained in all of the society. It's the culture you're interested in, so it really isn't too expensive. By huge contrast to Dubai, where we just were. Yeah. Which is like, there's tons of sightseeing, but everything costs money because it's all sort of modern and made for sightseeing. Whereas in Pakistan, it's just kind of the culture and the people you're interested in. So going to the market and watching all the, colorful fruit sellers and everybody weaving about, it's free to go there and hang out. So sightseeing bill, although on our list kind of expensive because of our northern trip, overall quite affordable in Pakistan.
Yes.
One of the best values of any country because it's really affordable. Then we get to food, which seems so low. $260 monthly. It's like less than $10 a day. But I'm telling you guys, we would stay at a hotel usually that has breakfast included. So we'd eat breakfast at the hotel, we'd skip lunch, we'd go out for dinner, and some random stranger in the street would buy us dinner. This number is unusually low compared to most of our expense reports
Yeah.
from different countries.
I think in average per meal we would spend maybe like $15 for
For
both
two
of
people,
us.
yeah.
That's the average.
But one of the
But-
3 meals is free, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
goes way down.
But we don't go to street food often because obviously we have sensitive stomach, especially this
That's a
handsome
good
man.
point. Yes, that's a good point. You could easily get your per meal cost down to $2 or $3
Yeah, you could
if
even-
you had a stronger stomach.
You could even like bring the cost down if
Right.
you do street food.
That's a good point. Now, there's a category of shopping, which usually is actually less than this in most countries. In Pakistan, it's higher because they have really nice souvenirs everywhere. Really nice souvenirs. We bought some carpets up north. We had to send them home. We bought some traditional clothing, shower kameez. We bought lots of little knickknacks and things
Yeah,
to send
souvenirs,
home.
yeah.
The souvenirs there are so great because it's such a cultural place, and the souvenirs are pretty affordable.
Yeah.
Especially if you're with a local and they can help you negotiate, you can really have some good memories. You know, pack them in a box and send them home. So
True.
the shopping is not so much brand name stuff, but it's little homemade stuff. Really, really nice in Pakistan. In terms of transport, Uber is really great in Pakistan.
Yeah.
They use Uber and they use Careem. They're both everywhere and they're pretty affordable. In our transport, there is one flight.
Yeah,
We did fly
from-
home from the north to the south.
Gilgit to Islamabad.
Yeah, I shouldn't say home. I think Islamabad is my home. That's my favorite part of Pakistan. We flew home. No, we flew to Islamabad. But
Yeah.
from up north we came
I
back.
think we took 2 buses or 3. No, 2 bus rides.
Overnight buses.
Yeah,
Oh,
from
the buses
Lahore.
are really nice.
Yeah, from Lahore to Islamabad, which we took a luxury bus,
Which was
Q
really
Connect,
nice.
which was
Really
really nice. And we took 17 hours bus ride from, was it Islamabad? Yeah,
Islamabad
Islamabad to Gilgit.
To Gilgit because we missed our flight. That was a bit of a disaster.
And the bus, it wasn't
It was
that bad,
okay.
but yeah,
It was okay.
yeah, for the price.
But
it
in
was
terms of transport, Pakistan is pretty easy to
okay.
get
Yeah,
around.
Uber is cheap.
Uber
That's
is
the
cheap.
best way to travel
To
around.
be clear, for some reason, there's no seatbelts in the back of the Ubers, and it makes me terrified. But other than that, the Ubers are really good.
And they also have Kareem.
They also have
But
Careem.
Kareem never work on my phone, so I use Uber.
So we're using Uber. And then last but not least, groceries. When we're at an Airbnb with the kitchen, we would make some groceries. Even did some cooking vlogs. You guys saw.
made some biryani.
Made some biryani. Or I should say our housemate made the biryani for us.
Yes.
As well as made some pakoras on National Day. Was exciting. But overall, I think per person, about $1,000 a month
Yes.
is a good estimate for what you might spend. Individual usually spends more on accommodations because two people
Yeah, that's
can
true.
join
We can
forces and
share.
share a room. But about $1,000
And there's
a
no
month is pretty good for such a unique
yes.
kind of rich travel experience.
And there's not many hostels yet in Pakistan where you can share like bunk beds with other people.
Yeah.
It's mostly private rooms, and if you want to get a decent one, it probably will cost you about $30 or up per night.
30 or 40 is like
Yeah.
a reasonable expectation.
Yeah.
I will say the accommodations in Pakistan are still going up. I think Pakistan as a travel destination is still kind of building its name for
Yeah.
itself and slowly going up. There isn't much choice compared to cities of similar populations. So a city that has 5 million people or 10 million people, some of these super massive cities, there isn't dozens and dozens and dozens of places to stay. There's only a few options. I think it's because there isn't many tourists coming to Pakistan just yet. I believe tourism in Pakistan is going up. I think it should. It's a pretty exciting place to be. Safe and exciting and affordable and interesting. But right now the accommodations are a little bit far and few between. But overall, we had a pretty good time. Now, to be clear, we did spend some money outside of this list, but they're not travel-related expenses. We had a gym membership. Most people aren't going to do that. We sent a box to Canada, which cost $300. We had to do a bunch of COVID tests, which we left out.
COVID test.
But for someone planning a trip to Pakistan, I think these numbers are helpful. $1,000 a month
yes.
is about right.
And I
for
think
most
most
people.
of the travelers will experience that Pakistani hospitality. So
Right, we were just nervous because some of the people reached out to us because they saw us on YouTube. So I'm like, I don't know how to. I just had to be honest and just say the food. I mean, it's so low.
I mean-
as a percentage of our total bill compared to other countries, it's so affordable, the food, because everyone's trying to buy you everything. So nice people. So nice people.
yeah.
So there you have it, guys. I think we did pretty well in Pakistan. I think we did pretty well. I enjoyed it. I think
How
we'll
much
be back.
did we spend in total?
About
6,000
$6,000.
for 3 months. Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
So there you have it, guys. Would recommend Pakistan as a travel destination. Exciting and affordable, and some of the nicest people you'll meet.
Yes.
Boom, there you have it, guys. Okay, from now on, we'll be slowing down our vlogs to every other day as we do our road trip up north. So we won't see you tomorrow, but we'll see you the day after tomorrow. Later, guys. Thanks for
Bye.
watching.